tuning into another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from UFO sightings to never-before-seen footage of cryptids that will blow your mind. Ready? Let's dive right in. Starting today's episode, we've got a clip from a man who was driving home one evening through a quiet stretch of road near the woods in North Carolina. The sun had set and the road was dark and eerie. As he was almost home, his dash cam picked up something strange that left him unsettled. The footage shows a bipedal creature darting into the woods. It's covered in dark fur from head to toe, standing somewhere between 6 and 7 feet tall. At first glance, it almost resembles an ape, but there is something distinctly off about it. When the footage is slowed down, the creature's movements and appearance seem unusual, almost unnatural. Its gait is surprisingly human-like, which has led to only one logical conclusion: Bigfoot. Unless, of course, you're our scientific whiz Julius, who doesn't believe in such things. Your conclusion will be that it's fake. Many in the paranormal community, however, believe this is the real deal, and I'm not surprised. The clip is very convincing, but I want to hear your opinions too. What's your take on this one? Next, we visit a topic that's not necessarily paranormal, but one that's deeply concerning: the growth of fake eggs in the American food market. Take a look at this footage. These fake eggs are allegedly from China, where it's become a practice to manufacture eggs using chemicals. These synthetic creations are designed to mimic the appearance and texture of natural eggs, but they are far from the real deal. What's worrying is that these fake eggs are now making their way into the American market and could soon spread worldwide. Experts warn that consuming them could pose serious health risks over time. What do you think about this disturbing trend? Would you be able to tell if the eggs you're eating are real or fake? This next footage comes from a rancher who shared a strange find after a snowstorm. While he was out checking on the debris he had been burning near his shed, he didn't notice anything unusual at the time. But later, as he reviewed the footage from his dash cam, something strange caught his eye. In the video, behind the shed, there appears to be a huge dark figure. It's a bit blurry, but if you look closely, you can make out the shape of something large, humanoid, and seemingly out of place. The rancher believes this could be a Bigfoot silently standing near the shed, possibly watching him. What do you think? Previously, we looked at footage of strange boom sounds heard by a resident in Idaho. Now we have another recording from a different man capturing these unsettling noises. Take a listen. These booms seem distant yet powerful, echoing across the area, yet the source remains unclear. The earlier resident mentioned that officials explained it as some sort of natural atmospheric phenomenon like skyquakes. However, even he expressed doubts, suggesting there's more to it than what we're being told. Could this be related to underground activity, secret military operations, or something entirely unexplained? I'll let you decide on that one. On December the 4th, 2024, a woman driving at night through Orange County encountered something extraordinary. She pulled over and began filming as strange lights hovered above the ocean in a distinct triangular formation, the point facing downward.
Someone called the cops on these lights.
Moments later, the lights began to descend into the water, escalating the mystery. Just then, police cars sped by with their sirens blaring, adding an eerie twist to the unfolding scene.
See, even the police, they're going crazy. Aliens are attacking!
Orange County has long been whispered about as a UFO hotspot, with some speculating about hidden underwater alien bases in the area. Could these lights be proof of something otherworldly, or is there a simpler explanation, like drones or a light show?
Oh my god, now cars they're starting to notice. Here comes another. Oh, fire truck.
If that's the case, where were the sirens rushing to, and why was this not covered in the news? So many questions, yet little to no answers. What's your take? Coincidence, technology, or something truly out of this world?
See, even the police, they're going crazy. Aliens are attacking!
Around the world, many traditions may seem unusual to outsiders, and one such practice is the Gorabba festival celebrated in Gumatapura, India. This unique festival revolves around cow dung, a substance considered sacred and purifying in Hindu culture. Here's how it unfolds. Villagers collect cow dung, which is then taken to the local temple to be blessed by priests. Once consecrated, it becomes the centerpiece of the festivities. Participants use the dung for a variety of activities, most notably engaging in a cow dung fight where they gleefully throw it at each other. This tradition, while unusual, is deeply rooted in the belief that cow dung symbolizes prosperity and good luck. It's also seen as a way to foster community spirit and celebrate the connection to their agrarian roots. Would you ever consider joining such a unique cultural tradition?
No lo pueden negar. Mirad, un hombre sobrevolando San Sebastián.
Next up, we have this fascinating clip captured by a woman vacationing in Spain. While taking in a breathtaking view from a high vantage point overlooking the beach, she inadvertently filmed something extraordinary. As always, the video starts, innocently enough, panning across the picturesque landscape of buildings, land, and sea. But then she spots something unusual, a distinct disc-shaped object hovering above the building. It glimmers with a smooth metallic-like appearance, staying in view for only a couple of seconds before vanishing into thin air. Up until she posted this clip, the woman in question had never posted anything paranormal related. Her posts were travel vlog related, which made this particular clip an interesting deviation from her norm. Many in the paranormal community are taking this to mean the clip is a genuine encounter. But what do you think? Did the clip convince you, or do we have reservations?
No lo pueden negar. Mirad, un hombre sobrevolando San Sebastián.
The idea of having doppelgangers of ourselves somewhere in the world has fascinated people for centuries. While it's considered a theory or a fun concept, some claim it might be closer to fact than fiction.
Disculpa, ¿ese es el barrio del Encanto o tú eres el encanto de este barrio? Mira.
Take this recent footage as an example. A man walking through the streets of Colombia stumbled upon a young woman who bore an uncanny resemblance to actress Scarlett Johansson. While her face was slightly rounder, the similarities were striking enough to make them look like twins. While some chalk it up to the limited variability in human features across the global population, others find the idea of doppelgangers eerie compelling. What's your take? Is this just a random resemblance, or could there be more to the concept of having another you out there in the world? Maybe glitches, government experiments? Sounds crazy, but you never really know.
Disculpa, ¿ese es el barrio del Encanto o tú eres el encanto de este barrio? Mira.
On November the 20th, 2024, a Florida senator introduced a bill aimed at banning the use of weather modification techniques. This legislation specifically targets the use of chemicals and other technologies to manipulate weather conditions, such as altering temperatures, sunlight, or precipitation. The move has reignited debates surrounding long-standing conspiracy theories that claim scientists or even governments may be behind certain unexplained weather phenomenon. For years, theories about weather control have included allegations of cloud seeding, geoengineering, and even secretive programs like HAARP, High Frequency Active Aurora Research Program. Supporters of the bill argue it's a proactive measure to prevent the misuse of emerging weather-altering technologies and to address environmental concerns. Critics, however, see it as either unnecessary, if such practices aren't widespread, or as quiet confirmation that weather manipulation is more real than previously acknowledged. Does this bill lend credence to weather control theories, or is it a precautionary measure for future developments in technology? Could this be the beginning of transparency in weather-related sciences, or does it fuel more questions than answers? What are your thoughts? Whilst you share your thoughts, this image captures how many individuals feel the government has denied the existence of such technology for years, only to come out and ban them. Someone must be lying somewhere, and it's certainly not the masses. If you've ever wondered what two of your brain cells interacting looks like, then you are in luck. Believe it or not, these are what your brain cells look like when they're doing a mentally draining task. Unlike us, they don't talk in words. Their conversation happens through intricate signals transmitted across tiny gaps called synapses. While this is an oversimplification of the fascinating science behind their chatting, we still have to admit that it looks impressive. This exchange is what powers everything we do, from thinking and feeling to moving and remembering. Every thought or sensation is the result of billions of these tiny conversations happening in your brain every second. I don't know about you, but this makes me think of space and the way our universe looks. What if our existence is just within a much larger being, and we are all just parts of that larger being functioning to keep him functioning? You know what? Let's move on to the next clip before I hurt myself.
Where is that?
What came to mind when you heard the audio? If you weren't paying attention, listen again. Does that sound like anything you know? If you answered no, it's the same situation for us. No one on my team knows what we're dealing with, and neither does the paranormal community. The individual who uploaded the clip thought the sounds were unusual, which is why he recorded. He was hoping for answers, but the clip ended up dividing the community. There were some who thought it sounded prehistoric, like a dinosaur. Some were very skeptical, stating that such a thing couldn't be true. They even accused the poster of faking and reversing the audio. There were others who also claimed to have been hearing such sounds near where they lived, Alaska. Ice. Having presented all the evidence to you, you've seen the clip too. What do you think we're dealing with here? Let us know in the comments section, especially if this is something you have heard too.
What is that?
A traveler who flew into Cleveland Hopkins International Airport yesterday and is now being observed, isolated and observed for flu-like symptoms.
The impact of COVID-19 is still fresh in our minds, and now a concerning report has emerged. In Cleveland, a man who recently arrived from Congo was hospitalized with a severe flu-like illness. Authorities acted swiftly, quarantining him and monitoring those who came into contact with him to prevent potential spread. Reports from Congo indicate the presence of a similar flu-like sickness that has tragically claimed lives in the region. This has raised alarm since it's similar to what happened with COVID-19, but was dismissed as a common flu until the situation spiraled into a global crisis. Health officials are working diligently to identify the nature of this illness, ensuring containment and care. While we don't yet know if this is the start of something more serious, the incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and early intervention. Let's prioritize safety, stay informed, and take precautions as we await further updates. I'm pretty sure none of us is ready for another global pandemic.
A traveler who flew into Cleveland Hopkins International Airport yesterday and is now being observed, isolated and observed for flu-like symptoms.
Is our world the result of evolution, or was it purposely designed? Most often, scientists love to think most of the things around us evolved into being. Take this soldier turtle ant, for instance, a remarkable species known for its unique turtle-like appearance and specialized role within its colony. These ants are often called turtle ants due to their flattened disc-shaped heads, which resemble a turtle's shell. This unique trait allows them to block the entrances of their nests, typically found in hollow branches or cavities, serving as living shields to protect the colony from intruders. Was this designed, or did they evolve to do this? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Stepping away from the scientific debates, let's look at something right up our alley: ghosts. The image on your screen was captured by a group of friends at Black Star Canyon in Orange County. It was shared by user DJS Skeptics seeking answers. If you pay attention to the image, especially to the left side, you should see what looks like a faint image of a boy in the shadows. The group was supposed to be alone when they took the picture, so seeing another boy in the background really spooked them, and they uploaded it to a paranormal group seeking answers. They did get some answers, but it was not necessarily what they were expecting. The image was not pareidolia or a trick of the light. No, it turns out that some school children died in a car crash not far from where they took the picture. Ever since the incident, people have always reported seeing images of little children in the area. This is one of the few times they have actually been captured on camera. At least that's what we're told, though some remain skeptical. There's no logical or paranormal explanation. What do you think?
Here we go. Here it is. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
For several days, residents of New Jersey have been spotting and filming strange drones hovering in the area, sparking unease throughout the community. These drones reportedly feature 3 lights arranged in a triangular pattern, an unusual design not typical of standard drones. What's even more intriguing, the FBI had taken an interest in the case. If these were just regular drones, why would a federal agency step in? Could they be advanced spy technology, possibly from a foreign government, or could they be something far more extraordinary, like evidence of extraterrestrial activity? What's your take?
What is that?
While you share your thoughts on that, we visit the mountains of northeast Mexico, where something rather interesting was captured on a trail cam. Take a look. This image was captured by a trail camera that had been set up by an explorer after an expedition into the mountains with his dogs. It was a day like every other, and they decided to use a trail they had never used before. All was good and fine until they started to feel they were not alone. He couldn't shake off the feeling but continued the expedition nonetheless. Their adventure would be halted by a howl that was so scary that it made his youngest dog run and the oldest assume a fighting stance. It took a while to get them under control. Once he had them under control, he left the area but returned later with a trail cam which he set up. That trail cam captured the image on your screen. That's the last thing it captured, though. Someone or something opened the camera to prevent it from capturing images. Given the way the image looks and the mysterious nature of the whole thing, members of the community believe he encountered a Bigfoot. What do you think?
That's amazing. That's a great view. You can see we just launched at the perfect time here, so we're catching sunlight off of the top of the Earth's atmosphere. It's reflecting off of the plume of the rocket.
Apart from the reports of strange drones, another mysterious phenomenon that has captured people's attention is this: space jellyfish in the sky. The so-called space jellies resemble large, glowing jellyfish-like forms hovering in the atmosphere. Their translucent bodies and trailing appendages give them an ethereal, otherworldly appearance. While many speculate that these jellyfish could be natural phenomenon, atmospheric events, or perhaps experimental technology, others lean toward extraterrestrial explanations. Some scientists suggest they may be a rare optical illusion caused by weather conditions, while others propose they could be space debris reflecting sunlight in a peculiar way. What do you think?
That is a spaceship like a... That is a... Tell me what else that could be. That's a spaceship. They found a spaceship.
A woman driving on the highway found herself behind a truck carrying a massive disc-shaped object covered in a cloth and securely tied down. The object's shape bore a striking resemblance to a UFO. Could this be the real deal? Many are skeptical that the government or any agency would transport something as sensitive as a UFO in plain sight, especially in broad daylight. It seems counterintuitive for a subject surrounded by secrecy and controversy to be handled so openly. On the other hand, some believe this could be a calculated move, either as a deliberate misdirection or as an unclassified transport of something mundane that happens to resemble a UFO. Others propose it could simply be a prop for a movie or a piece of experimental equipment unrelated to extraterrestrials. What do you think?
That is a spaceship like a... That is a... Tell me what else that could be. That's a spaceship. They found a spaceship.
Vocês ao prédio, abram. Abram.
This intriguing footage captures a striking phenomenon. One half of the horizon is cloaked in a massive solid gray cloud, while the other half remains bright blue, adorned with small fluffy white clouds. The sharp divide between these two halves of the sky has left many viewers scratching their heads. Interestingly, such dramatic contrasts often have natural explanations. It could be a large, isolated cloud formation like a cumulonimbus or stratus cloud, which can form distinct patches due to differing air currents. Another explanation might be a weather front, a boundary where two contrasting air masses collide. For instance, a cold front could push a dense layer of cloud into one area while leaving the surrounding sky clear and bright. Although this phenomenon is likely a product of atmospheric dynamics, its unusual appearance can't help but spark speculation. What's your take? Is this just a fascinating weather event, or could there be something more to the story? Bruce Xaudia, a wildlife videographer on YouTube, recently explored the Sunshine Coast in Canada, a region known for Bigfoot sightings. After speaking to a local who claimed to have seen a Sasquatch in the area, Bruce decided to investigate the location himself during a hike with his family. While hiking, he arrived at a field and began hearing strange noises coming from the tree line. Curious, he took out his camera and started filming, zooming in on the area. Because it was so bright outside, he couldn't clearly make out what he was capturing in real time. Later, upon reviewing the footage at home, Bruce noticed something unusual. Behind a tree, there appeared to be a figure crouched on the ground. The figure was difficult to identify, but Bruce believes it could be a Sasquatch. What do you think?
And I'm going to color in what I see, red, and then dotted red, that there's something else behind the bushes there that could be extension of the object.
A security camera set in an alleyway captured a peculiar scene. A man was walking through the alley when something moved on the roof of a nearby house, catching his attention. He glanced up, but saw nothing unusual and continued on his way. Upon zooming in on the roof, however, two strange creatures come into view. They appear to have wings and a long tail and could be either four or two-legged. Their appearance resembled small winged dinosaurs. Could these creatures be bats or large birds distorted by the angle and lighting, or is this something more unusual, perhaps cryptids or even an elaborate hoax? What do you think these creatures could be?
Took him to bed, and that was that until about 3 in the morning, and then I just heard screaming. This was blood-curdling screaming, like someone was killing him. He was saying, "Airplane crash on fire, little man can't get out." And that's what he was repeating over and over. "Airplane crash on fire, little man can't get out."
The subject of reincarnation has been one of debate for many centuries. If this little boy is to be believed, then the debate is over. Meet James, a young boy with a story that's nothing short of chilling. Despite his age, James would vividly describe the harrowing details of how his past life ended. A plane crash and being engulfed in flames. These memories were so vivid and traumatic that they haunted him deeply, leaving those around him with both fascinating and unsettled. Maybe the right word is troubled. Is this real? Could James's memories be proof of past lives and reincarnation, or is there another explanation? Stories like this open up a world of questions, inviting us to explore the boundaries of what we know about life, death, and consciousness. What do you think? Do you believe in past lives, or is this simply an unexplained phenomena? Have you ever experienced explored this mysterious rabbit hole yourself.
One day, James and I were talking. I said, I know you have those nightmares all the time. Who's the little man? Do you remember what your name was? And he said, James. And I said, do you remember what your last name was? And he said, mm-mm.
If bugs make you uncomfortable, skip ahead by 30 seconds. If you're still here, we can assume you are unfazed by them.
Okay, so I thought this was dust for like a week. And then if you look really closely, it turns out that they're little tiny bugs. And I'm freaking out because they're literally everywhere in my kitchen.
This young lady on your screen has a bug infestation problem unlike any you have ever seen in your life. Well, a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point. She's got bugs that look like little dots, and they kinda get everywhere. Her walls, desks, and even her bottles. She initially thought it was dust until the dust began to move. She tried all she could to get rid of them, but nothing seemed to be working. She tried asking for help on our platforms, and surely enough, she received the much-needed help. It turns out they're called grain mites, and she's not the only one who have had them visiting. Has any of you had to deal with these? Which method did you find to be most effective in getting rid of them? She might just be watching the video.
They like to gather on the corners. Does anyone know what these are? Please tell me. I need help.
Next, we've got a clip from 2020 that had many in the paranormal community talking when it was first released.
This is the exact spot that I just...
The man you see on your screen had been experiencing paranormal encounters and decided to share her experiences online. Sure, this was modern times, but it was still 2022, and many were still reserved when it came to cryptids and creatures of the night. The man on your screen, however, insisted his experiences were true, and they dared him to go live and show proof of the so-called experiences he'd been having. Everyone expected it to be a no-show and a flop. That was until something was caught in the background. Its movements were not human, and it appeared to have fur all over. This made many who were live with him conclude they were seeing either a dogman or a werewolf. The man in question had shared earlier experiences with these cryptids, which many didn't believe at first. But once this clip went viral, that changed, and many believed him. Some remained skeptical, however, stating that he could have arranged and staged the whole thing. You've seen the clip. Which of these instances do you think is most likely?
This is the exact spot that I
Here we have another fascinating piece of security footage. The camera, positioned at the front of someone's house, captures the front yard, fence, street, and the house across the way. In the stillness of the night, the sky suddenly lights up with a bright purple flash. Immediately after, a figure appears out of nowhere. Due to the camera's angle, only the lower torso of the person is visible, but the sequence is striking. After the light fades, the figure simply walks away. The sudden appearance of the figure following the flash raises intriguing questions. Could this be an example of teleportation?
Presta atención a lo que va a suceder. Mira. Los tipos desapareció. Mira que los tipos están conversando y pasan desapercibidos de lo que está aconteciendo a su alrededor. Es como especie de un espectro. Mira. Nuevamente se aparece y desaparece.
The video shows 3 men sitting outside their home at night, chatting and engrossed in their phones. While they seem unaware, a small miniature humanoid figure briskly walks by on the opposite side of their gathering. The first pass goes unnoticed. Later, the creature walks by again, but none of the men react. As the footage continues, the small figure moves back and forth repeatedly, yet the men remain oblivious until the clip ends. What could have held the men's attention so strongly that they failed to notice such a peculiar presence nearby? Could it be that they were distracted by their conversation, or perhaps they couldn't perceive the creature at all in real time? Skeptics argue that it might be a cleverly edited video. Others suggest that the figure could be something supernatural, like the ghost of a child, given its humanoid appearance. Believers in folklore propose that it could indeed be a duende. What about you? What do you think it is?
Es como especie de un espectro. Mira, nuevamente se aparece y desaparece.
That cloud ain't moving though. Almost looks like something circular in there.
On December the 2nd, 2024, a woman in Long Beach, California, reported a peculiar phenomenon in the sky. It's a cloud that appears to be completely motionless. While clouds typically drift with the wind, this one remains stationary for over 10 minutes. Some suggest the possibility of a cloaked UFO, with the theory being that advanced extraterrestrial technology might use clouds as a natural disguise. Others propose that it could be a fake cloud, perhaps part of weather modification experiments or some other unexplained technological phenomenon. But what do you think this could be?
Freaking eyes. Doesn't that look like two eyes? Look. Yeah. It looks like two eyes now. It looks like it's freaking weird.
It's my favorite color.
This eerie footage from Indonesia, recorded in 2008, captures a truly unsettling encounter. As two men were crossing a bridge, they noticed something highly unusual in front of them. It was the lower half of a human torso wearing a black skirt. Strangely, there was no upper body visible, just the legs. What makes the scene even more chilling is the behavior of the legs. Initially, it was facing away toward the fence. However, when the light from the men's phone illuminated the figure, the legs turned to face them. This unnatural movement caused the men to panic, and they fled from the scene as fast as they could. Such an occurrence defies conventional explanation and aligns with certain ghost stories or folklore in Southeast Asia. In many Indonesian legends, apparitions of disembodied parts, particularly torsos or limbs, are associated with restless spirits or supernatural entities. Could this be a paranormal encounter? For this one, I'm just gonna shush and let you watch.
Oh là là.
Oh wow.
Oh, il y a eu un big wave, hein? Non? Oh là là. Oh my god.
Mama Nature is beautiful, isn't she? How many of you knew it was possible for a glacier to flip? If you didn't know that, consider this your free tuition. If you're waiting for the conspiracy, well, there's none. I just thought this was beautiful. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, this can happen. And this happens many times.
Animals in the wild are constantly at risk from predators, and many have developed fascinating coping mechanisms to protect themselves and their offspring. This penduline tit is a prime example of this ingenuity. These small birds are known for their intricately woven nests which hang delicately from tree branches. Inside these nests, they lay their eggs, but the birds go to great lengths to ensure the safety of their future generations. To ward off predators like snakes, penduline tits employ a clever strategy. Their nests have two entrances. One entrance acts as a decoy, luring wandering snakes or other predators away from their eggs. It's essentially a trap door to nowhere, meant to mislead and confuse. Meanwhile, the true entrance, known only to the penduline tit, allows safe access to the eggs. This ingenious design helps increase the chances of survival for their offspring. Such an intelligent architecture. Humans are limited in their sensory perception, which can be both humbling and alarming to consider. Our hearing range is between 20 Hz to 20 kHz, and our visual spectrum, spanning wavelengths of approximately 430 to 770 terahertz, only covers small fractions of the broader electromagnetic and auditory spectrum. This limitation means we are effectively blind and deaf to a huge array of phenomena occurring at higher frequencies or beyond our range of vision. For instance, ultraviolet and infrared light, which other creatures like bees and snakes can detect, remain hidden from human sight. Similarly, ultrasonic and infrasonic sounds are imperceptible to our ears, but are crucial for communication amongst certain animals such as bats and elephants. These sensory gaps raise fascinating and unsettling questions. Could there be entities, energies, or even worlds that exist just beyond our perception? Are aliens a part of the world we are unable to see? This eerie incident occurred when a man parked outside, noticing strange noises coming from across the street. Intrigued by it, he decided to take out his phone and record the scene. That's when an inexplicable event unfolded. A woman emerged from thin air out of the shadows before walking away. The footage has sparked widespread speculation. Some believe she may have walked through a portal. Others think she might be a ghostly apparition. The lack of a clear explanation leaves room for theories about interdimensional travel, spectral appearances, or even elaborate hoaxes. What do you think she could be? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the guy who accidentally steps in this water. While the alligator may be smaller than the croc, it's no less dangerous. Just in case you missed it, there's an alligator lying in wait with its mouth open in the water. Sometimes gators do that while hunting. It's an effective tool that seems to get their prey with high success rates. If you see this behavior on land, that is, a gator with its mouth open like that, it may be engaging in what scientists call thermoregulation. But more of that in our video. Just keep your eyes out when in gator-infested areas or water bodies. You have been warned. This clip has a lot of weird things going on. First, we've got a couple of adults playing with their backs turned to the forest. I can write a whole dissertation on why this isn't safe, but let's move on. As they're having fun, a figure moves behind them and no one notices. They only noticed it while reviewing clips at home. They shared it with the paranormal community, and once they are there, they're divided. Some think it's genuine, whereas others think it's staged. You've seen the clip. Which do you think it is? In this footage, we can see two raccoons on the ground and a deer floating in the air. Seems the camera captured the image at the right time. What do you think was happening when this photo was taken? Could it be a secret woodland talent show where the deer is auditioning for a role in Santa's sleigh, aiming to be the next Rudolph? Or perhaps it's just a classic case of a levitating deer casually showcasing its supernatural powers to a pair of bewildered raccoons. Now, before we dive into the realms of conspiracy theories or animal shenanigans, let's have a little fun. Drop your wild and whimsical interpretations in the comments below. Gather round, oh ye nature enthusiasts, because we've got a circus act straight from the woods. Some hikers in the woods came across this spectacle, a leaf floating in mid-air. I mean, we could attribute the levitation of the leaf to the wind, but there's no sign of the wind making us believe that there could be more to this. Some keen observers suspected that it could be a silkworm or spiderweb delicately holding up the leaf in a nearly invisible embrace. While that sounds logical, it's hard to prove or disprove because we literally can't see it. Nature, it seems, always has a trick or two up its sleeve. What's your take on this leafly ballet? If that one didn't quite do it for you, we have another angel sighting that was captured in the sky over the ocean. In the video, a humanoid figure with wings appears, which some viewers have likened to an angel. Unlike the previous angel-shaped cloud sighting, this entity is a glowing white light. It's interesting to note that this is how most people imagine or believe angels to appear, as luminous beings. The sighting generated mixed reactions from the viewers. Some were convinced that this was a true angel, while others remained skeptical. They suggested that it could be a hologram projection or a blue beam projection. However, it's worth considering the possibility that it could be a natural phenomenon, such as a red cloud formation. What are your thoughts? Do you believe it was a genuine angel sighting, or was it a projection, or something else entirely? If you've doubted that, then what do you think about this clip as well? The footage on your screen was also recorded from the same area. The one who saw it posted it online, believing the jets were chasing the UFO. I mean, if anyone saw a jet fighter and a UFO in the sky, that's certain to be the first thing that came to mind. But once the clip hit the internet, people thought otherwise. They actually believed that the jet fighters were escorting the UFO instead. This made a number of them believe it had to be man-made. But is it though? Well, we can't say for sure, but many who saw the clip believe it was the real deal. They believe the spacecraft gave off a hum that could not be made up. Apparently many others recorded and saw it as well. We did some digging around and found none of these clips, but perhaps we're searching in the wrong places. What do you guys think? Real or not? If you think what you've seen so far has been wild and bizarre, prepare to be amazed by the mysteries of the ocean. While in the waters, this diver came across a pool of water in the ocean. I don't understand how this works, as it's messing with my brain. Is this some sort of optical illusion, or is there something more at play here? The ocean is one of the most mysterious places in the world that still has more of it yet to be thoroughly studied and researched. This could just well be a phenomenon we're not familiar with. Anyone know what's happening here? Please do explain in the comment section. In our next footage, the sky, which has been a canvas of endless intrigue, unveils yet another of mysterious crafts. Enjoy. Do you see it? Unusual crafts projecting beams of light into the sky. What's intriguing is that these lights aren't confined to the crafts. Instead, they extend across the entire visible expanse. Before hastily forming conclusions about this mesmerizing light display, let's carefully explore the myriad possibilities of what it might signify. There are some who think it's nothing more than an aero display from the aviation team. While it's nothing like we've ever seen, it's still a possibility. There are also some who think this could be dogfighting. That is, when planes are engaged in serial combat. If that's the case, then it's certainly dangerous for the people standing around and filming. There's not much context on the footage, so we can't tell what is really going on here. What do you think, though? When I saw this, the first thing that came to mind was that it was a hologram, and an interesting looking one at that. After watching it for a while, I realized that the individual was trying to explain, using technology, how interdimensional beings may react to our own. The comments section was crazy, with comments like, "Are you saying ghosts are not necessarily the dead, but interdimensional beings?" As much as I wanted to get into the whole thing, I felt it was Aaron's field of work, since everything supernatural has to do with him. Having seen it yourself, however, what do you make of it? Now let's examine this unsettling footage captured one evening in 2023 in New York. The sky had an eerie orange hue with what appeared to be smoke or fog lingering in the atmosphere. First off, wildfires are known for casting a reddish-orange tint in the sky, and the smoke they produce can definitely create that foggy effect. If there were any wildfires in the area, that might explain it. Also, industrial activities or certain weather conditions can also contribute to hazy skies and strange colors. However, there was no report of a fire around or bad weather conditions, so what could have caused this? Is the air even safe for the people around to breathe? There is no one in sight wearing a nose mask either. It seems that humans cannot have a peaceful moment of fun without something strange popping up, and I'm sure the owner of the footage could not agree more. A family went out into the woods to have some fun in the outdoors. While they were all letting loose and having fun, they spotted an uninvited guest in the woods staring at them. When the intruder noticed it had been found out, it began to crawl toward them aggressively. At first, they thought it was a wild animal, but when the creature began to move, to their horror, the creature looked unlike any creature they had ever seen. People who saw the footage say it could be a dogman. What are your thoughts? Next, we bring you something from the mysterious of the deep blue. So you've got this intriguing footage from the ocean. And what's the star of the show? A creature that looks like a snake gracefully slithering through the waters. Now, the ocean has a knack for throwing us curveballs, and this seems like one for the marine cryptid collection. As for what kind of sea monster this might be, it's a bit like playing detective with only a few puzzle pieces. Could it be a rare and exclusive sea serpent making an appearance, or perhaps a new species yet to be officially discovered showing off its underwater acrobatics? It's hard to say because I'm not a marine wildlife expert, but I bet that whatever this is, it's something I wouldn't want to be playing around with. Out in the middle of the sea, a fisherman experienced an unexpected twist during a routine fishing expedition. As he eagerly opened his fishing net, expecting a bountiful catch of fish, he was met with a surprising and unusual sight. A snake coiled among the fish. Without missing a beat, the fisherman bravely seized the snake by its head and promptly released it back into the sea. While this encounter might appear nonchalant at first glance, the video stirred some concern among viewers who identified the creature. To the casual observer, this might seem like just another fisherman's tale. However, this was no ordinary snake. It was a sea snake, one of the most venomous creatures known to inhabit the ocean depths. This man was lucky that the snake was in a good mood that day. Perhaps it wasn't luck. Perhaps he was just that skilled. What do you think? At a river, a peculiar discovery was made. A cat seemingly turned into stone. The creature appeared petrified, its form transformed over time into a rigid, rock-like statue. The sight sparked various reactions and speculations. While petrification is a natural process where organic material is replaced by minerals, it's not a common occurrence for domestic animals like cats. Typically, petrification is associated with ancient remains buried in specific geological conditions over an extended period. In this case, there might be an alternative explanation, such as the cat getting trapped in a substance that hardened over time, creating the appearance of petrification. Aaron, however, thinks someone from the Harry Potter world used the Petrificus Totalist charm. Thankfully, we know when to take him seriously. If aliens were among us, I believe they would be hiding among us or camouflaged somewhere like the skies, and this footage right here is why I'm so sure of this theory. Someone filmed a rather odd cloud floating rather closer to the Earth than the other clouds. It looked much darker than the other clouds and moved at a very fast pace. Upon zooming in, the cloud appears to be connected to some kind of machine. I'm pretty sure that this is some type of alien spy tech, but they don't seem to be doing a good job hiding it because the clouds look so uncloudy. Next, let's take a look at a wonder that happened on Troutbeck Lake, England. A family visited their holiday home, but it seems that vacation had a lot more installed for them than they had planned. There on the fields were hundreds of sheep frozen in place. They'd been stuck like that for hours, and the spectators started to get concerned. The shepherds in the area said it was no cause for alarm because this was nothing unusual. They said that this could have been the result of the temperature change. They'd given their answer, but this scene here makes me believe that there is something curious going on. Here we have another footage of another set of eyes doing the exact same thing. Now, these are just two of numerous clips of individuals captured having these slit eyes. I mean, it could just be editing, but when you look closely, this thing looks too real to be edited. So could the theories be true? Are we witnessing evidence of extraterrestrial beings living amongst us, disguised as humans? Or are these occurrences simply the product of optical illusions or digital manipulation? It's hard to say, and there's no way to prove any of this, but if it's true, then we are in serious trouble, don't you think? In the video clip that follows, we get a glimpse of another sighting of the sky, where a cloud resembling a human figure is seen, albeit without wings this time. The cloud being has its arms spread out as if it were running, and at one point there seems to be movement in its hand. While it could be argued that this is merely a case of pareidolia or moving clouds, there is always the possibility of something more significant going on. As more people gathered around to observe the cloud, something strange happened. The human-like cloud suddenly vanished into thin air as if it were aware of its surroundings and was intentionally disappearing. This raises more questions about what it could have been. Was it an angel, as some people believe, or was it simply a case of pareidolia? Alternatively, it could have been a hologram projection in the sky or some other phenomenon that we have yet to understand. Without more information, it's going to be difficult to say what exactly was going on in the sky that day. But what do you think it was? The extraterrestrial saga continues, this time with a dash of mystery from the Philippines. In the sky, there appear to be some disc-like looking things in the sky, and there are a lot of them. If you're wondering what they are like we are, know that the possibilities are as diverse as a galactic buffet. On one hand, it could be a fleet of cosmic cruisers making a pit stop in the Philippine skies. On the other hand, there's the chance that it's a clever optical illusion playing tricks on our terrestrial minds from the confines of the office. What do you think, though? This next tale takes us deep into the heart of the unknown. While camping in the woods, a man began to hear strange noises and decided to investigate. He set up trail cameras in the area, hoping to capture whatever was making the noise. When he retrieved the trail cam device, he was shocked at what he saw. There, roaming in the woods, was this strange creature. It's a humanoid creature with a face that almost looks like a skeleton. The posture of the creature was like the zombies from The Walking Dead. Some members of the paranormal community believed that this could be a skinwalker, while others suggested that it is a zombie. But it could also just be a person in a costume playing a prank. Given the limited visibility, we can only speculate. As to what this creature is, we cannot say for sure. Can you? A group of men were on a hiking expedition in a dense forest when they came across an intriguing circular structure. The object had a mirror-like surface that reflected the sunlight, and its edges emitted a faint glow that seemed to pulsate. Upon closer inspection, the men noticed that the structure was perfectly symmetrical and had a diameter of approximately 10 feet. The original poster speculated that the object may be some sort of portal, but there is no verifiable evidence to support this theory. The men who found the structure did not provide much information about its origin or purpose. There were no visible markings or signs of wear and tear that might suggest how long the object had been there. The group of men did not attempt to touch the object or interact with it in any way, perhaps out of fear or uncertainty about its properties. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the discovery of this mysterious structure has sparked much interest and speculation. Some have suggested that it could be a remnant of an ancient civilization, while others believe it to be a natural phenomenon. The truth, however, may never be known, but the enigma of this object continues to captivate the imaginations of those who are interested in the unknown. What are your thoughts on this? But eclipses are not the only strange things. This footage was taken of a person's eyes, and look at that. The eye just switched into what looks like slits, reptilian eyes. Now, there have been numerous accounts and conspiracies of shape-shifting lizard people who live among us. Their giveaway is this. They have inner transparent eyelids that blink sideways apart from the normal human eyelids. And when that happens, for a split second, their eyes change from human to reptilian. Some people who support the shape-shifting reptilian theory think that these creatures are from outer space and have come to Earth to influence and dominate humans. They believe that reptilian beings are from different planets or dimensions and have high-tech abilities to appear as humans or other creatures, letting them blend in among us. Humans have been on Earth for thousands of years, yet there are still some things that we cannot explain and have not figured out yet. Our next footage is one of those. A man observed a ball resembling a flame descending from the sky with a fiery tail trailing behind it. What could it possibly be? The potential explanations are as vast as the night sky. It might be a meteor performing its fiery swan song as it streaks through Earth's atmosphere. Alternatively, it could be a stray piece of space debris opting for a spectacular light displayed during its descent. Now, while scientists might have a field day speculating about its celestial origins, for the rest of us, it's a gentle reminder that, despite our technological prowess, the universe still has a few tricks up its sleeve that leaves us in a marvel. Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode, guess what the sea tossed our way this time? Brace yourself for this epic capture from Russia. these men stumbled upon a colossal crab that made them question life. I mean, we're talking about a crab so massive it could probably serve a seafood feast for the entire neighborhood. The crab is black with spikes all over its legs. Seeing this even on screen made my heart sink. Are we dealing with some mutant crab species, or are there mad scientists concocting supersized creatures in a secret underwater lab? While I want to believe it's one of these, there's also the probability of it not being. I mean, how else do you explain the crab not attacking despite them being so clean? In 2010, a startling scene unfolded on a golf course when a man witnessed an alligator casually strolling across the greens, appearing to carry a head in its mouth. Whose head was that, and how did the creature get the head? Now, rewind to a year earlier, and the same golf course had a missing persons report linked to it. People had suspected that she was eaten by the alligator that lived in the river nearby, so when this footage came out, people panicked, fearing the gator might be wandering about with the missing woman's head. However, further investigation revealed a less macabre truth. It turns out that the alligator was not carrying a human head, but rather a turtle in its jaws. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want us to send that big alligator after you now, would you? Exploring the depths of the ocean is indeed a fascinating endeavor, and researchers often encounter mysterious and unique creatures that are rarely seen by humans. The deep-sea environment is home to a diverse range of species, some of which have adapted to extreme conditions such as total darkness and high pressure. Some deep-sea researchers plunge into the abyss with cameras to capture glimpses of these enigmatic beings. In this footage, a particularly intriguing creature comes into view, a strange-looking creature with glowing eyes staring straight into the camera. The presence of glowing eyes in deep-sea creatures is a fascinating adaptation known as bioluminescence. Many marine organisms in the abyssal depths use bioluminescence as a means of communication, camouflage, or attracting prey. The ability to emit light in such a dark environment aids these creatures in navigating, finding food, and interacting with their surroundings. Now the question is, what creature could that be? Is it a new species or something else? My assistant Aaron could find nothing on this creature. Perhaps it's a bias because he believes it's an otherworldly creature. If any one of you know what this is, please do share in the comments section. If you wanted proof that the government knows about zombies and is experimenting with them, then this footage is the one for you.
That's another thing. You don't want wild animals eating stuff. No, it's seldom they turn to zombies because it's supposed to be a human strain, I guess. But yeah, it's more of the zombies carrying it, or more of the animals carrying it to another person, biting a person, kind of like rabies, but...
If this is to be believed, and if this is true, then we certainly have a zombie apocalypse on our hands. What do you think about what the specialist said? Is this footage real, or is it just a couple of military men making fun of those of us who believe in zombies? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Well, buckle up for this tale of someone who seems to have a direct line with destiny, and Death himself might be scratching his head in confusion. While crossing the road to meet up with the man filming her, a car came crushing toward her, but stopped abruptly at her feet without causing any damage to her. It seems she's not aware that she just escaped death because she just walks on like nothing happened. On the other hand, let's take a look at the car. The car seems to have crushed into an invisible wall because the hood of the car was messed up. Did she have an angel protecting her she couldn't see, or was there something else at play? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. It really helps us out a ton and gives us the opportunity to make these videos for you. So please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. This next footage was sent in by a subscriber. While driving through town, they came across this in the sky. It was a glowing cross in the sky. This is not normal, and naturally it led to some pretty interesting conversations once it was uploaded. For some, the appearance of a luminous cross in the heavens triggers thoughts of divine or supernatural significance. The notion of a heavenly sign or a symbol linked to the rapture emerges, bringing with it a sense of wonder and awe. Others, however, bring a more skeptical lens to the scene, suggesting that it might just be the product of a mundane phenomena, such as a reflection on a car window. What do you guys think? Real or fake? In Mexico, this strange structure was found. It looks like some sort of abandoned tunnel that leads into an underground cave system. In there, we had strange stone structures all over. In the darkness, something interesting is revealed. Even though it's hard to see, the person filming says they saw a creature in the deep darkness. The cave is naturally spooky, and thinking about something hiding there makes us wonder what secrets might be hidden inside. Maybe it's a creature that lives underground, or it could just be a trick of the light, playing tricks with our minds in the mysterious parts of the cave. One thing is for sure, I'm not going into a cave that looks like this. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us to make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. To wrap things up, let's head to the UK, where intense winds are wreaking havoc. It's just one more chapter in a string of extreme weather events across the globe. Some folks are saying that Earth is fed up with humans and is trying to shake us off. Honestly, I've got a few theories of my own. But jokes aside, why are we seeing so many strange weather phenomenon back to back? Could it be climate change amping up the intensity and frequency of these events? Shifts in atmospheric patterns, or perhaps it's just the natural cycles of weather hitting us a little harder than usual. What's your take? Is it science, bad luck, or something more ominous? Let's hear your theories. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, with our clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.